Now, happy Thursday, happy Pro Power Hour, happy almost weekend. This is, like I just said, Pro Power Hour. This is a weekly series we've been doing for the past 9 weeks. Today is week 10. I guess this is technically week 11. We skipped for 4th of July, but this is something we started doing at the end of May. You can kind of think of this as like a feature focus training webinar. I'm Chris Weldon. I'm one of the community managers with Housecall Pro. I've got my resident onboarding specialist, Phil, with me here today. Super happy that we're going to be covering Job Inbox. If you don't know what Job Inbox is, I encourage you to tune into this. If you can't watch it now, come check it out later. Or if you're catching it later, you're in the right spot. I want to just reiterate that we've done a lot of different topics. Like I said, we've done 9 other sessions, and we'll continue doing a different feature every week. And if you're interested in any of those, you can go back in the featured section up at the top of the group. We've covered everything from multi-day appointments and multi-option approvals to service plans to a few other different things. I can't even name them all right now. They don't all come to my mind, but we've done quite a few things now. We're also putting together a help article that'll have all of the recordings available so you guys can go back in an easy place to go and find them. You can see what each topic is. You'll be able to kind of select different bites so you don't have to watch the whole session if you don't want to. So we're working on all of that. And if you have any suggestions, if there's a feature that you want us to cover that we haven't covered yet, let us know. We're open to your feedback. And I'll be monitoring the comments. If you have any questions now or later, drop them in. Let us know that you're tuning in too. I'll say hello. Lauren or I will connect with you. But Phil, I'll pass it over to you.
All right, sounds good. Hello everybody again. I'm sure you've seen me quite a few times on these, but I am one of the onboarding specialists here. I do dabble in the support side. So if you've ever had a problem and had to talk to somebody, you've probably talked to myself or one of my teammates. And also if you are new to the product, and if you've gone through the Max or Max Plus onboarding schedule, you've talked with, again, either myself or one of my teammates. So today we're going to talk about the job inbox, as Chris said. We've had a lot of people call and talk to us about what the job inbox does, how do they generate more leads to generate more work, which equates to more money. So we have made some improvements. We've kind of done a little bit of shifting around with the job inbox. So really excited to explain to you all just what it does, how it works, and who we work with to get you guys more leads, which again, gets in more cash. So as we've normally done this, we've kind of given you a little bit of information within a slide deck. We're going to start with that as at the beginning. And then towards the end, I'll go ahead and open up my account and show you all how we can go ahead and get you set up for success here. So here we go, and sharing the screen. So, all right, just want to make sure you all see it.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the job inbox is. Now, as I mentioned, it's basically your lead generator. Now, Housecall itself is not a lead generator, but we do partner with a lot of lead generating sites and companies that in turn, as they generate leads for you, they come into Housecall. So in your job inbox, typically on every intro call that I've done, I lead everybody to their job inbox. It is listed at the inbox at the top of your account. That you'll notice that's also where you're able to send out your text messages to your customers as well as your employees. If you also have the phone system, that's also where your call log is and other information regarding your VoIP system. So everything is in the inbox, but everybody always asks me on that first call is, what is the job inbox? So the job inbox is essentially activated for you. It's there and it's already up and running. Now you can go to your settings to go ahead, I'm sorry, not your settings, to the apps, and within the job inbox section of the apps, which again, I will demo a little bit later, that's where you can turn off the specific, on and off the specific lead generators that you want to be working with. So couple of the options that are there in the job inbox and some of the companies we partner with are Thumbtack, Train, American Standard, Google Online Booking, Google Location Services, um, and uh, HomeServe. That's the other one that we are working with. So really, again, this slide here just shows you how to activate it. You go, and I'll demo it again a little later, is just going to your apps and simply turning this feature on. So how to view it? I kind of talked about this a little earlier, is just simply going up to the inbox selection at the top of your account. This is where, again, all your VoIP, all your text messages, and where the job inbox is going to live. When you click on that job inbox, you're going to see all the different lead generators that you have enabled, and it'll be very similar to the text messaging. So when a lead comes in, you'll see the notification and at the top where your inbox is. Click on it. You'll see another notification where the job inbox is. You can click on that, and then you'll be able to see exactly which lead generator is providing you a fresh lead. So the first one that we want to talk about a little bit is Thumbtack. And the reason is because it's one that we work with very frequently. We've worked with them for a while, so we've kind of mastered our connection with them. Now, one thing I always do have to bring up with a lot of my pros is for most of our lead generators that we partner with, you do need to have an account with that particular lead generator. That way it ties it all together, very similar to some of the other features that we have that include other companies like Wisetack or Mojio, things like that. You're going to need an account with them in order to make it work with us. So with Thumbtack, as I mentioned before, you can just go up to your apps. We go to the job inbox section, go ahead and turn Thumbtack on. And what the screen is showing here is that once we go back to our job inbox, it's going to prompt us to want to go ahead and sign into our Thumbtack account. That will go ahead and link the two accounts so that we can do all of our business within Housecall. So getting leads from Thumbtack in the job inbox, as I mentioned, it's going to be very similar workflow or just kind of day-to-day process when you get a text message or if you're checking your phone call log. You're going to get that notification at the top of the inbox, and we'll go in there and you'll basically see some people call them cards. I like to call them tickets. A little bit from the restaurant industry, so that ticket that comes in with the specific order that the customer is looking for, it comes to your inbox. And this is where you'll be able to get that ticket, get that card, get that lead, and be able to get more information on it. So when you get that card, that ticket, whatever we want to call it, as we can see here in the example, it gives you all of the information, the customer name, their address, when they're expecting you all to come out and visit, what type of job summary that they are specifically looking for, and then a little bit about payment. So through our lead generators, it's really kind of set up to give the customer an idea of what the payment is going to look like. And as soon as you and your team go out there and actually diagnose and figure out what it is that needs to be done, you can then reach out to the specific lead generators, and we'll see some steps in here in the slide deck of how that works. You will reach out to them to basically say like, hey, this job is going to cost this amount of money. And they'll sign off on it essentially, and then you can get started with work. There is a little bit of a fail safe in there. So if you were to, let's say, go out to a specific job and maybe that customer is not home or some instance like that, there is a fail safe to at least compensate your team for actually having to make the drive over there. So it's very detailed, but I don't want to get too far in the weeds on that. But if you want more information, certainly look into Thumbtack or go to any of our help articles to get more information about how all of that is going to work. But one of the things we wanted to talk about is definitely the benefits of using Thumbtack with Housecall is, again, as I said, we've worked with them for quite a while, so we're pretty tight-knit with them, and we made it really easy for all of you in your businesses. So when we do get a lead and we reach out to the customer, we made it simple so that you can simply reach out to them through your Housecall Pro app, and it will in turn send a text message to the customer as well as a Thumbtack message. So that way it's covered on both platforms, so there's no miscommunication. So when that lead comes in and you've talked to your customer and you all have decided on a date for the project, you've decided on on what that cost is going to look like, you got the approval. Now we made it easy enough for you, very similar to our online booking feature, is that we can go ahead and copy this to our Housecall Pro system from Thumbtack to either be an estimate or a job. So that way it's all already put together for you. You just need to go out there and do it. So again, kind of tying in the online booking to our leads and our lead generators is you want to make sure that your online booking is set up. You also do want to make sure that your My Money section is set up, because when these payments start coming in from the customers and they go to our lead generators, they're going to come to you. And the best and pretty much the only way for it to come to you is make sure that you have your bank account connected with that My Money section so that you can get those deposits. But a couple of other things to make sure that it's set up correctly. And again, we will walk through these steps together. But first thing we want to do is go through all the steps like we would with online booking. We want to make sure we set up some windows for the customer to be able to select what time they want somebody to come over. We want to go through our employees to figure out which ones we want to be able to be sent out to these specific locations. We don't want the office staff going on out there, so we want to make sure they're turned off. And you also want to make sure you have your areas selected. So that way you don't get that lead from, I'm here in San Diego. I don't want a lead from somebody up in Sacramento because I'm never going to make it up there. So make sure that everything is set up similar to how you would want it for online booking so that these leads can work for you without giving you much of a headache. So again, this slide here just kind of shows how it's going to look. Once you get that card, once you get that ticket from the customer, you will be notified through the Housecall Pro app. And by clicking, there's going to be an option for Learn More. That's where you can get the rest of the customer's information. Clicking on the See All Service Information, that's where you will get all of the information regarding the project that you are being asked about. And there is an option for customers to go ahead and upload any photos or attachments that will generally just help you be more prepared for the job. So this slide pretty much kind of goes over what I was talking about earlier, is really as you have that lead, you have the ticket, you're talking with the customer. Really, we've made it so, as I mentioned earlier, we made it easy where you can just kind of reach out to the customer through the Housecall Pro job inbox via text messaging, and it will send the message over to the customer as a text message, or if they are having their Thumbtack web page open, they'll also receive the messages within Thumbtack. So the next one that we wanted to talk about is HomeServe, because this one you don't need a subscription for. It comes with Housecall. It's really, you kind of use it or you don't. We're not forcing it upon you. You don't have to take the leads if you don't want them, but obviously we all could use a little extra money, so we figured we make this a little easy for you. But HomeServe is very similar to Thumbtack. Essentially, once you go through the steps of applying it to your account, connecting it to the account, don't need a HomeServe subscription. Basically, HomeServe just sends us all of the information, all of the leads to us, and then we take it from there, essentially. So again, this slide is reiterating that if you do want to get paid, you want to make sure that you are set up with that My Money selection. So accepting or declining jobs on HomeServe is very similar to how we were doing it in Thumbtack. You get the lead, it comes in. But what I do know with HomeServe is there is a time ticker on it. So it's kind of based on priority depending on what the job is. So if it's an emergency job, it may sit in your job inbox for, let's say, 5 minutes. So it gives you 5 minutes to go ahead and accept that job, reach out to the customer, and get this on your books. If you don't get it within those 5 minutes, Unfortunately, it's going to move off of your job inbox and it's going to go to the next available pro. Obviously, we want to do right by our customers, so we don't want to leave them waiting. There are other jobs, as I mentioned, kind of with priorities. HomeServe are the ones that decide what the priority is going to be. So you may get a job that says, it's a lower priority and you have maybe 90 minutes to an hour to respond, anything like that. So leads come and go. I'm just saying is that they show up in there and it's really on you all to go in there and accept the job if you want it. Regarding the job inbox, really admins and office staff, points of contact will be able to receive those texts. We'll be able to look at that job inbox. Out in the field, we generally don't want the technicians doing it and just picking up jobs without, alerting the rest of the office. So that's why it's not really something for them. Um, and really everything else on here kind of talks about what I just mentioned regarding the time limits, scale of work. So they're going to give you essentially how much they think this is going to be. Obviously, you will reach out to HomeServe and we'll see on a later slide when you tell them how much you assume that this job is going to take. And then also similar to Thumbtack is there's always the Learn More button when you are looking at your ticket, which is going to give you all of that service information as well as all of that customer information as well. So completing a HomeServe job, HomeServe kind of has this checklist over here. So I'm just going to kind of talk about this first. And what we did is we made it easy with a couple of different buttons. So when you get that job, you have this essentially checklist over here for you to go ahead and call the customer. And we made it easier on you all is to go ahead. We put a call button right there. So you can hit that button and it immediately calls the customer. You do have to call HomeServe or get in touch with HomeServe to give them essentially an estimate of what you're saying this particular job is going to take. So we also made that a direct line. You hit the button, it's going to call HomeServe, and you can go ahead and give them what that cost range is going to look like. And very similar to our checklists is once you complete it, then you can go ahead and start doing the job. So like right here to do the work, you can go ahead and get that homeowner signature. So that way we don't have any discussion later down the road about, oh, I wasn't approved to do this. And what other doomsday scenarios we may come up with. For the box, how to complete them, like I said, it's very similar. You just fill out that checklist and you accept the job, you let the customer know that's happening, and then everything is going to carry over to Housecall where you will go ahead and complete the rest of the work within Housecall. So sometimes things happen. Sometimes we accept a job that we just can't handle, or we were gonna do the job, but we got sick, or whatever the case may be. You can always cancel a HomeServe job. There is no penalty for doing so. You do this within your Housecall Pro account. If any of you are familiar with canceling a job, it's really simple. When you are looking at a job, there's the little gear and wrench icon in the upper right-hand corner. You can click on that. It gives you a couple of different options, but one of those many options is cancel a job. There is also a place to delete a job. Now, what we specifically coach is do not hit delete the job. You want to hit cancel the job because what that will do is basically that's going to bounce back to HomeServe telling them that you're not taking the job, and then they can pass that to somebody else that is more available. Again, we want to do right by our customers. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like and how we set up all of these lead generators. So I opened up my account over here. And first thing I just kind of wanted to point to is really just how easy it is to find the job inbox. So up here at the top, as I've mentioned over and over again in our session already, we'll go ahead and click on inbox. And we have our options for text messaging, but right here down below, we have our job inbox, and looks like I've got about 10 notifications. So within our job inbox, we have all of the lead generators that I am currently working with. Some of these are moving from us. So at the end of this week, there's going to be an update for just about everybody where you will see no longer see the ones that we are currently working with. We do have some plans to work with some other new lead generators that is coming down the pipeline, and those will be announced shortly. But as you can see here, here's the HomeServe. If it's the first time using it, obviously I'm not a legit business over here, so I don't really have many leads coming through. But for all of you, if it's your first time going into your job inbox, here's a little tutorial video that shows you how this all works. There is also Thumbtack, as I mentioned. There's the place to go ahead and sign in. Now, all the other ones that we work with, like American Standard, as I mentioned, you will need a subscription with them in order to go ahead to sign into that account and then link it to Housecall, along with a couple of these other ones. Online booking, that's really our thing, and you can go through the prompts if you want to. Reserve with Google, we have been telling everybody that that's kind of the number one thing, mostly because everybody uses Google these days. So if you really want to get those leads for your business, your first step should always be, let's work with Google. Before I move away from this page, again, as I mentioned before, this is where all of those leads are going to be coming in. So they come in just like this with these little tickets, and you can always click on Learn More to learn more about that specific ticket. And it gives you all of the information that we may need regarding the particular project. This one is within the in-house job inbox in Housecall Pro. So these are all already pros that are just reaching out to me, or I'm sorry, customers that are reaching out to me directly. So I can go ahead and chat with the customer now. But really the main point is job inbox is where all of your leads can come in from these lead generators. Now, making sure we are set up for them is we would want to go over to our apps, and we'll go to the App Store. And we are going to look for the job inbox. So in here, you see over on the side, this is where you can go ahead and turn on and turn off any of those lead generators that you want that are compatible with Housecall. So I pretty much have them all turned on. Maybe I should turn on the GLSA. And also on this page, it gives you a little bit more information about how the job inbox works. So now that I have them all enabled, as I said, now we need to go ahead and make sure we are set up so that our lead generators can reach out to us. And that comes into play with similar to our online booking. So the first step is you would probably want to go ahead and in your service area, put in all the zip codes that are within your territory. So again, me being in San Diego, I'm going to put in all of the ones around here. So like 92110, 2101, on and on and on. But this allows it so that any customers that are within these zip codes, when they reach out to HomeServe, Thumbtack, Train, whichever lead source generator that you're using, that we make sure that they're within our area so we can get to them in a proper time. Now with the other things will be within your online booking. So one of them is available employees. So when you come over here, as you can see, I have my team set up where my admins are not going to be selected. So obviously we don't want them to be booked when one of these tickets come in and we go ahead and accept it, because we want to make sure that it gets to the right technician who is available at that time. The other thing is within the booking settings. So we want to go ahead and make sure we have either flexible or set specific start times so that way, when they are going through the lead generator, the lead generators can understand what pockets and windows of time are available for you and your team to go ahead and get out there to take care of the customer. So that's pretty much the two things that you really need to make sure are set up. The employees that, the three things: the service area, the employees that are actually going to be going out there, and as well as your time windows on when you want to let customers know that you are available. But outside of that, I think that pretty much covers a lot of the ground of the job inbox. So Chris, any questions?
I'm looking, I don't see any questions, but pros, I'll give you a couple minutes. If you're watching this right now, if you have any questions, let us know. If you're catching this later as well, we'll make sure to get back to you. We'll give you a reply in the comments. I did want to call out a couple things. When it comes to HomeServe, I just want to preface that HomeServe is a home warranty company. Um, and the request that you will get with HomeServe, if you're, everybody's automatically looped into that once you turn on job inbox. But I want to preface a couple things. I know some of these questions have come up of like, I'm not getting any jobs or I want more jobs. Um, so I want to preface that these aren't, first of all, these aren't leads. These are real jobs that you would be getting if you go ahead and move forward. You'll get a truck roll fee. I have personally done a couple of HomeServe jobs in the past, back when I had my business. So I do know how they work a little bit. It comes in, like Phil said, you have that time ticker. So you only have so much time. And if you don't accept or decline the job in that time period, it will move on to the next pro. Keep in mind just a couple things. Uh, your timing will not affect how many jobs you get. So if you end up missing a job, you couldn't accept the request, maybe it came in overnight or something, that's not going to downgrade you. That's not going to hurt you in any way. Same thing like Phil had said as well. If you cancel the job, that's not going to hurt you in any way. And that's not how the algorithm works. It essentially is wherever HomeServe needs us, wherever they don't have a partner, they send that job to us, and then we send that out to you all. Um, we don't control the times, we don't control the types of jobs. So I just want to preface all of that. These are free opportunities. If you get one, consider yourself lucky. Definitely take advantage of them. But I just want to iterate, like, don't expect to get any number of jobs or type of jobs. But it's a cool thing to opt into. I also wanted to say too that we are working on some new partners. I know Phil had mentioned a couple of them will disappear in the next few days. If you see a couple now like Latchel, and there's a couple others that we're going to move away from, but we do have a couple new ones coming. I know Angie is going to be coming soon. I don't have any other details I can share right now, but if you are somebody that uses Angie leads already, just know that soon you'll be able to tie that into Job Inbox and just have one central place to receive all your leads. Just it should work similarly to the way Thumbtack does. And if you are interested as well, we do have a partnership with Train. So if you take Train jobs or American Standard jobs, there's an integration for that as well. We didn't talk about that. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, we'll drop the help articles. Lauren, if you could drop those if you're still with us. Otherwise, I'll drop them in a couple minutes here after the session. And we'll go from there. I'm looking though, I don't see any more questions coming through. Phil, anything else before we go? It might be an early one today.
Yeah, I don't really have much. I just know that a lot of people have asked about this, and it's here, so it's either you take advantage of it or you don't. So really, if you're one of those people that are out there and saying, "Hey, I need more work, I need more money," this is the session for you. So go ahead and make sure that you have everything set up correctly. If you need reference, this video will be posted. Always take advantage of our help center. There's tons of resources in there where you can look for specifically HomeServe or Thumbtack. And there's definitely going to be some type of article or tutorial video that's going to show you, one, how to set it up, and two, how it works. So definitely take advantage of it.
Cool. Yeah, Lauren just dropped those. Also want to mention too, majority of what's in these slides is from our help articles, but if you are interested in getting the slides, so you can see all the screenshots and read everything a little bit further, I mentioned that in the comments. Just DM me your email and I'll be sure to share it with you. We can do that for any week, by the way. So if you watch one of these later, you watch one of the old ones, if you want to get a copy of the slides, just DM me, say which session you're looking for, and I'll send you the DM, or excuse me, I'll send you a copy of the slides, and we'll go from there. I didn't check our FAQs, but I think a lot of our FAQs that we gathered from the Facebook group this week were very specific troubleshooting steps. Is that right, Phil?
Yeah, that's what I saw too. So, yeah, when it comes to job inbox, as Chris said, you can reach out to him. Also, if most of you are familiar with like the coaching and support call button, you can certainly schedule something with my team, and we can certainly walk through this with on your account, make sure everything is set up correctly, or troubleshoot anything that's going on that doesn't look right.
Sweet. All right, well then I think that's gonna do it, pros. Feel free to drop in questions later. We'll get back to you. Otherwise, we'll see everyone next week. I think we'll likely do a part two to this. This was kind of a part one. We'll talk a little bit more about the Google side of things and how you should integrate Google to Job Inbox. Super important, super valuable. We've talked a little bit about Reserve with Google in the past, but we'll touch on that again, as well as Google Ads. So plan on that next week, and hope you all have a good weekend. We'll see you around.
All right, sounds good. Later, everybody.
See ya. Thanks, Phil.